Welcome, everyone, to the continuation of a Swan Princess movie marathon in the month of love, February. So, movie 6 was unbelievably diabolical, terrible, and wasted a perfectly good pirate concept. Movie 7 ironically felt like it had more piratical stuff in it, was sort of an improvement, but still had a lot of the major problems that have been plaguing the franchise. That being, some of its characters, while better, were made to be accommodated by some characters just being worse. Uberta. So, yeah. So this is apparently where Pedro confirms this is where the franchise apparently found its redemption of sorts, to the point where at least it's now a movie that can claim that it's made for the fans. Whether or not the fans like this one, we'll look into a bit more when we get into the commentary.
How about this, Jova? This is where I quote unquote return to form, and by return to form, I mean this movie is on, I guess, the best one we've had since the original trilogy. That's not saying much because
What you're saying is that it's either on par with Swan Princess 4, or are we saying it's on par with the original trilogy?
No, I will argue this is better than 4. Definitely. I mean, it's still not good, but it's definitely the best one of the CGI ones so far.
Also, definitely. we have a voice caster change, well, one character at least. Laura Bailey is no longer voicing Odette. Instead, it's Nina Herzog.
Oh no! How will I ever cope?
See, here's the thing. That's the thing. There's a thing. Nina is an overall better pick, but she still sounds nothing like Michelle Nicastro. That's the thing. I don't understand why they can't hire an actress that sounds like Michelle Nicastro, because they keep having her sound like all Disney princessy, even though in the original trilogy she sounded way different than that typical voice.
That's the ironic thing. The original Swan Princess trilogy, while you can joke about Diet Disney as much as you want, the original Swan Princess trilogy at least felt like it had more of an identity separating itself from Disney, whereas now, as Pedro himself just mentioned, they are more trying to Disney-fy it, or I guess in this case, Disney Channel-fy it.
And you know what's the best thing about this, Jova? We still have a pseudonym nonetheless, because one side characters in this game gets voiced by Kevin Goff. If you know anime voice acting, he has been done a lot of stuff recently, like My Hero Academia. But for this movie, he goes by the pseudonym of Tobias Booker.
Huh.
Very random.
It's simple too. No, he doesn't want anyone finding out that he's in this.
Then why did he agree to this?
My guess is he probably saw Arrested Development the day before he recorded this and decided to bias. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So today we're taking a look at the mystery movie of the series.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
all right. What? Just for repertoire, Java. From which logo we should start?
Why, whatever logo, but the Sony Wonder logo.
I wonder how long we can make this joke going.
I was about to say, I wonder how long you can stretch that out for.
Honestly, here's one thing I wonder, though. Are Sony Wonder just specifically made for these movies? Because I don't think I've ever seen this company open
That's a
for
good
any
question.
other
What
movie.
else? That's something that I will search in between movies. Why not? But for now, take us away, Jova.
3, 2, 1, click. I don't know whether to be happy that we're supposedly back to where the franchise, quote-unquote, starts being good by certain standards, or to be sad because now that means we may not have as much material to work with as we did with the last two movies.
The movie's still going to have plenty of stupid stuff in it, I assure you. It's just like because here's the thing, Jova. Here's the thing. In for as much as they're still fans of the first movie, if you take an objective, critical look at the first movie is incredibly problematic because of the two parents literally conditioning their children together.
We're still having the King of Borromeo being present.
Okay, kudos to them. Continuity.
Oh.
And the rats are still evil again, I see.
No, they're not, Jova. Shut up.
Don't worry. Just call the Pied Piper. He'll sort them out.
Oh, the rats want to go on a cruise, I see.
Rats in the corn. No.
Oh, hey!
Oh, they repaired the dig, yeah.
Again.
I'm sorry.
Welcome, Queen
B?
I'm guessing Queen.
Alberta.
Huberta, yeah.
She
Now
wrote a
with-
book?
Yeah, no. Huberta wrote a novel.
Oh my god, cosplayers.
What is this about? The events of the last movie?
What is this Queen University or something?
No, basically, this is
Oh my
Richard.
god, they brought Bridget back.
Richard is basically pulling a Lana Wachowski, and he's trying to personify the fan base in the movie.
Okay.
You know.
Also, sorry, go on.
To be fair, Des, Bridget's technically been there, just mainly in the background.
Yeah, I was about to mention. She had something to do a bit more in movie 6, but true, in movie 7, she wasn't present that much.
Hold on. I want you guys to hear to a specific fan in the autograph session here. Listen to this.
Oh boy.
Also, she has sunglasses still.
Yeah, to be
the
fair, we
previous
established
movie,
that
yeah.
Roland Rogers treated
Here
those, so
we are.
why not?
Here. I forgot about this. Huh.
Sure.
Sure, she did.
Okay,
Okay.
Listen here.
Gwendolyn? Ooh. Are we really gonna make a your mom joke?
Yeah, it's like your mom.
Your mom is next. Phrasing.
I don't think your slate has been wiped clean, though, Huberta. We still haven't forgotten what you pulled in movie 7.
Hopefully they're working on redeeming her character. I mean, okay, I'll give it this. This is probably funnier than anything she's had since movie 5.
I don't know. I'm still bitter about the whole
Oh,
pretending
yes.
to die
Even
thing.
in general, it's more. Remember,
Hence why I
she's still
said-
taking.
Well, hence
Oh.
why I said this is the funniest thing she's had since movie 5, because she was just terrible in movie 5. I probably should have said since movie 4, actually.
I didn't care for her in movie 4 too, because in movie 4 she was fighting over orphans with Rogers. So I'm
Well,
not entirely
okay, to
confident.
be fair, the excuse was that was Rothbart's magic causing people
I
to
guess
fight
we're still
and all
running
that.
on the headcanon we established and say that we're still under that.
I guess, sure. Mm.
I mean, did we actually see the magic go away?
Yeah, we did. To be fair.
I love how the sound effect for the.
Okay, seriously, what are these
I
rats up
love how the
to?
sound effect for the. I love how the sound effect for the car sound compressed.
Carriage also.
By the way, Odette, Dereck, why are you still not king and queen?
Because
Merely
Huberta's still
pretending.
queen.
The whole reason when Huberta wanted Dereck to get married was because
Oh
of
my god.
whatever.
Roger was going very, very close to the camera. Oh, and that's
Sonny
our intro.
Wonder presents.
Ah,
Yeah,
Our intro.
Compared to the
gra-
previous movie, this intro is actually a bit weaker.
This is
Yeah.
actually it's just more weird. It looks like they're dragging in their drunk mum or something.
That's kind of what they're doing.
The Swan Princess. The quest for sobriety.
Okay, even the logo actually was improved, the title was improved, but I think the way it was animated in the fourth movie is still the best out of these new ones so far. Why didn't they keep that?
It's been a while since I've seen the fourth movie, so...
I don't even know why they
forget what
changed it.
I forget what that intro was like.
Ah! What the hell
No,
was
just
that?
the title logo. They're still very annoying, though.
I'm not entirely whatever.
Oh,
Zorro?
It seems like Zorro is in the kingdom. It seems.
I guess he figured that
Wha-
the royalty is
why
corrupt
that
as...
joke?
Jesus, Huberta's nails are that sharp?
They're not even like fake nails which she has to remove. No, they're just like that. She is on her way to become Maleficent.
Those aren't nails.
Wait,
Those are
wait,
flat out
wait.
claws.
I love how Dereck knows that the marks are not consistent with his mother's nails. Like, Dereck, is there something you're not telling us?
Yeah, clearly that you were a bit too quick to find that out.
Yeah.
All this because a book got scratched?
That's the thing, sure. That's only the first of many things to get
Okay,
scratched.
I will say yes. The new voice actress for Odette fits better the role.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not red footprints, they are tiny hands. Animators, go back and try again.
Yep.
Possum? Okay, between the dingo from before and the possum now, is this movie trying to appeal to the Australian fan base?
Crikey, mate.
Considering the next movies where they go full appeal to China, yeah, I guess this is their last. This is another opportunity to try to get another audience, and maybe before we get to that, I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway.
Is Yuri Lowenthal still voice Dereck in these newer movies?
See, no, Yuri Lowenthal is still voicing Dereck. I'm guessing Richard has some kind of dirt on Yuri Lowenthal.
Yes.
Hey, Yuri, remember when you voiced Sasuke in Naruto? Remember that?
And we'll never let you forget it.
But, yeah, this is the other thing. Yes, as demanded by the fans, Odette and Dereck are the focus again. That being said, they've always been boring characters at best and really stupid, annoyingly stupid at worst. So this is still not exactly something worth celebrating.
Oh, so now Elise lives in Borromeo and Lucas?
Or maybe they're visiting first?
No. I think this is still the same.
No.
This is still. Is it?
No.
They're in Borromeo.
Right.
Look, even number 9 is there.
Pretty much.
Well, no, they don't live there. Okay, it's mostly that they're visiting. I think
That's pretty much what I was getting at.
To be fair, that's something a cat probably would say.
Yes.
No, you're not. Go away. Oh, there's Scully.
Scully, don't you have anything?
Where were you in the previous movie?
Scully, don't you have anything better to do as a ghost than just?
You could have helped the others in the previous movie.
Oh yeah, he didn't help out in the previous movie, did he?
No.
Maybe that's a part of the feedback too, Joe, because he will have a bigger role in this one.
I mean, look, whether or not you like him as a character, when you have a character who can literally show up and help as a ghost, it is a bit weird when they don't.
That's the same outfit that Antonio wore, but he's probably dead, so what tomfoolery is abound?
I wonder if maybe it's a revenge plot.
Let's see.
Does he come back as a ghost?
He wouldn't be the first character to come back as a ghost. Rothbard came back as a ghost in 4.
At this point, might as well have Zelda show up as a ghost.
Sure, why not?
And then we do a train murder mystery.
Selfies?
Great. Stop.
I'm sorry, what?
Again, I have to. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm gonna have to do what Bob always does. How do you know what a selfie is? Like, seriously, Richard, is it really so hard for you, Richard, to apply restraint and not reference things that the characters have no way of knowing?
Wait, a lasso that actually works on ghosts?
Oh, don't you see?
Oh, wait, is that one of the bugs?
Yes, this apparently one of the bugs died, and now he's after Scully?
With a captain hat?
Well, don't you see, Tio, though? The ghost of a rope caught Scully. That's how it was able to lasso him.
Wait, hold on. That... If I recall correctly, that hat was the one that Antonio was wearing when he was banished, so maybe there's that.
Wait, it was? No.
I think, or maybe not.
No,
okay.
Antonio had a tricorn, not a captain's hat.
Okay.
That being said, I wonder if this is a bug who we never saw before, but used to be the leaders before dying and whatnot. But anyway, Tio, like I said, see, the rope's glowing, which means that it's the ghost of a rope that died somehow.
Or is the lasso... Okay, I don't remember. Did the lasso true work on ethereal beings?
Oh, yeah,
it can.
And by the way, the bugs have a law code now.
Sure.
Wait, hold on. Well, Well, it's not so much that they have one, but it's that he wanted to give them a code or die trying, but, well, evidently he died. So what I guess is that this is essentially someone who wants
Larry, that's his name.
Essentially, he seems to be a bog who wanted to bring, proper order
Larry
to the bog.
Hilarious.
Okay, moving on.
What do you mean you forget about glass? You're a ghost. Shouldn't you be able to go through that shit?
I think in this world they're suggesting
I guess
that
it was
ghosts
for a
can't
joke,
go through glass.
But that's the thing, Jova. In movie 4, we saw Ghost Rothbard going through things. See? Ghost Scully is going through things now. So what is it?
No,
I guess they want to make a joke
Hey, Joe.
about...
I guess it's one of those.
Oh, they can all go through glass, I guess.
Anyway, I literally just said glass, not things in general.
Okay, but why glass as a limitation, though?
I don't know. Ask the writers, but
It's
that
a
just...
cartoon.
It's just
there it is.
it's just that apparently seems to be a thing.
Oh,
in these
no.
universe.
Beware the Men in Black. Okay.
So many
Oh, man.
jokes.
He's talking about Men in Black International. Rod. No? Okay.
Just want to remind you all, John Bob used to be joined by John freaking Cleese.
Yeah. Well, Jova, normally I would say a forwarding, but John Cleese has demonstrated that he's not above being in any random movie. So I guess, it does make you wonder why they can't get him.
I honestly say I think Swan Princess was a better movie than Pluto Nash.
Wait, Roger is trying to reverse engineer the blueprint of the submarine?
Yes.
That reminds me, Jova,
What?
as a reminder for everybody else, what was that one thing that the Bogs in movie 6 used to worship, but then stopped worshiping in the third act of the movie? Keep that in mind for later.
Okay. Yeet!
Oh, and another thing, Jova, and allow me to remind you, when they said that, they were that Bog was holding John Bob in his hand. Keep that in mind.
Whoa.
But yeah, Rogers is doing experiments or some shit. Oh, okay, Jova. So what do you think Doug Stone is doing things better in this one?
Let me get a listen. Okay, yeah, I guess he's trying better in this one.
All right.
Ah. Okay, that one was kind of funny.
Sure.
Okay, how is that even possible? Unless...
Yeah, how did that even happen without you noticing it?
Oh.
No,
when
there's no
Jean-Paul
way.
mentioned something about someone scratching its back, I guess one of the rats is Zorro, I guess.
No, I'm sorry. There's no way John Bob would get scratched like that without even noticing.
Okay,
Well, he
did
actually
say
noticed.
that.
He mentioned that something was scratching his back.
Yeah, so
yeah, true.
I guess, sure.
I guess you could call that good foreshadow. No.
That being said, what kind of thing is this person using that it's non-lethal scratches that don't even bleed?
Well, to be fair, like Tia mentioned, it's probably the rats, given how we literally did see them just exiting, and only the rats could be small enough to have fitted in the submarine to have scratched John Bob from the back.
Even if that was the case, why does
Wait,
Z?
what?
Why
Oh my
Z?
god, she admits it?
Yeah, we're there on this one.
Are you implying you need help to embarrass yourself at this point?
I don't know Derek's reaction is Mom!
You know, Rogers. You need to get out of this relationship. This relationship is not good for you. This is not working.
This is top. I don't
Okay,
know.
remind me, is Zoro like public domain at this point?
If I recall correctly, yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, honestly, this is a wasted opportunity. And, come to think of it, Sony do technically own the Antonio Banderas Zorro stuff anyway, so...
I hope you're looking forward
I
to
guess
that
they
new
wanted
Zorro
to be
movie.
cheeky and
Joker.
reference that. Whoa! Great, am I tripping balls again?
I love how the other characters look just as stumped as this.
I love Zorro? Like...
It could be a Zorro crossover.
Even Odette is not safe for that.
Ow, how do you even...
What?
Okay,
Oh, no.
nah.
Hey, Dwebs.
Hmm?
Dwebs.
Hmm?
I think this is giving Crime Over DH its money for a brilliant mystery.
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Yeah,
Even fucking... Oh, I guess now we're back on the island of Box.
Oh, great.
They want to eat a ghost? Wow, they actually remember what happened in movie 6.
Well, I guess I'm not too surprised that there's one thing these
Well,
movies have done.
Again, compared to Spirit and Thing, I'm genuinely more surprised by how they are actually not afraid of referencing stuff these left and right. Oh, I get it. With the head and everything, is supposed to resemble a cop. I guess.
Like he said, he's been trying to bring law and order to the Bog Society so that they'll be less unruly.
Oh, yeah. Scully's being accused of stealing a pink belly? Or
Human.
A human.
That's what they call humans, Pedro. Pink
Which
belly.
is what happened in the end of movie 6, so yeah.
Right. So...
Oh, they want to stuff him in a bottle.
Just call them people, Rich. Anyway.
Okay. To give them credit, they're like a different species, so it makes sense that they would call humans pink bellies because they probably don't know the name human.
Wait, ghosts can change the size of what they have?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
There you go, Joe. This is why I had you introduce this one, because we're going to have a trial.
Oh, just like in movie 5.
Can we have an objection?
We actually will, Blips.
Uses a precedent.
Why not declare war on you?
From that angle, it literally...
This is one of the position the Kadikaros uses as a joke. Oh, wow, we're doing this now. Okay.
Welcome to box court.
Wait, so what is this? Justice?
Sure.
So what are we about to do
You
now?
get it? It's like the people's court.
Actually, it's about... Yeah.
Because, the box kitchen joke was so funny in the
They
movie.
even lampshaded it.
Because, the box kitchen joke was so funny, we just had to do it again.
I love how
Slightly
Nums even
differently.
complains about the fact that they're doing this again.
Yeah, I guess at this point we're just running on the idea that they actually have cameras on the islands. Okay, Corvo, what do you want? What do you want? Oh, and he's the one commanding the rats. Well, I'm guessing I liking this guy more already.
Wasn't that game where rats are everywhere?
Dishonored, that's what they reference, Corvotano, the
Are
protagonist.
you sure you're not talking about Plague Tale? when you say
Yeah.
rats everywhere?
Requiem or something like
Whoa! A Z in the field.
Requiem is the upcoming sequel.
that. Or maybe this person is actually Ratcatcher 1.
Yeah. Where's Batman when you need him?
Oh,
Also,
Odette's
new
got a
outfit,
new outfit.
so we can sell more toys.
That's the thing that I don't remember ever seeing any Swan Princess toys about.
Wait, is that a statue of... Yeah, this is a statue of Antonio Nicolau.
Hidden away because of a
Oh, I
dishonor.
guess... Alright, I get... If I had to hazard a guess, maybe this new villain is Nicolau, since we didn't technically know what happened to him aside from being arrested.
That or it's somebody related to the two who wants revenge.
Wow, they managed to scare number 9.
Okay, not for nothing, but all this bad guy has done is leaving Z's around, like, so...
He's just a vandal.
So, like...
So, damn, Zorro after the second movie really went downhill.
Oh.
Damn, I heard Legend of Zorro was bad, but this...
Sad reason, even having the overcomplicated wigs. Are you happy?
Just
This
like
is-
in a British court.
And yeah, just like with Bog's Kitchen, this is not funny. It has nothing to do with the story. Why is this even here?
To entertain the little children. But they would not really get that much entertainment out of Bisbo. No, I guess it is really just for the adults, like you mentioned for movie 6.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I've seen plenty of movies aimed at little children that were more fun than this.
Also, it's not a real British trial if the judge is not screaming on top of his lungs, "Order!"
Hold on.
Ha.
Ha. Ha.
Laugh.
Ha. Laugh. It's funny.
I mean, to be fair, the
There
characters
goes
are
a stain because it's funny.
okay. To be fair, yeah, the characters were face palming, and that other guy's reaction made it seem like that was the intent to it not be funny. Speaking of British courts, just wondering, have any of you guys seen Law and Order UK?
A couple of
No.
episodes, but I did mostly follow just the classic series.
Basically,
Oh.
the UK one
Ooh.
adapts US episodes, but we just tweak them around because you can't
Mhm.
get guns pretty easily here.
Sure.
I recognize this voice actor too.
He sounds like a bulkier Kiefer Sutherland.
I just don't understand. Why is there a People's Court parody in a Swan Princess movie? Why?
Yeah, actually,
Because they ran out of originality, so their plan is to target something popular from pop culture.
Okay,
Yeah,
look.
Paige, you're
Okay,
almost-
okay, look. Honestly, I don't think this idea is doomed from the get-go. You want to have in a People's Court parody? Sure, fine, but it needs to be done well enough in the context of the setting
Again.
here and there.
Movie 5 had that, and it was going technically fine until the spitting scene.
I know.
I can't believe I just mentioned that.
was more fun than this
Oh, is he here?
court season.
Hold on.
His full name
His name is
Numsy
Numsy Wumsy. Yeah.
His mother must have really loved him.
Are you sure this wasn't the actor's reaction?
Yeah, I was about to suggest that.
Hey, Weaseling is kind of the bread and butter of a lot of lawyers here, bud. Wait a minute, there's a contradiction.
Don't worry, he will point it out, Joe.
In doubt, Jova present the badge.
Shit.
There you go, Dubs. There's
That
the
was
objection.
objectionable. Okay, we needed to extend that couple of seconds.
It seems like it, yeah.
What kind of court is this?
Not even a kangaroo one.
Okay.
Bye, I guess.
At least when Nino Kuni 2 spoofed this attorney, it bothered to create a context where it made sense to include said spoof.
And all of this was just to delay Scully actually helping our characters.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you for those wonderful 50 minutes of filler, Rich.
He did tell them to beware the man in black, but...
Also, come to think of it, consider a silhouette, it cannot be Nicola. He was a bit bulkier than that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Now the rats are trying to do something more productive. The physics of this series are just completely wonk.
Well, we don't have much budget in terms of our particle physics. So...
I know, but again, there was I think movie 6 that the canon that was something that they could push just properly like that, and now we have this with where the lamp doesn't even shadows that much.
Yeah,
man,
Dereck,
you know what? Maybe he should have been in the spy movie.
Dereck, you spent the original trilogy leaping around and going from horse to even the trees in order to hunt down your prey, and you cannot chase these Assassin's Creed ripoff.
But you see, Gio, those were the trees.
It's plot
These are
convenience.
buildings.
Being a dad does a lot to you. Okay.
Oh, by the way,
Kratos.
By the way, Shira, while you were gone, guess what? You remember the stupid Hell's Kitchen parody?
Oh yeah, that came back, right?
No.
In
Instead,
the sorry, go on.
Oh no, they had the courtroom thing, didn't they?
Yeah, Boggs Court. Get it? People's Court. It's that joke was so funny, Shira. We thought we'd try to do it again. See?
But I didn't think it was funny.
Well, Richard and Brian clearly
the movie does not care how do you feel.
I get that this movie is not made for me, but stuff like that is put in, so the parents get a little something, while their kids are watching this stuff. But it's I'm not a parent, but even as an adult, I don't like it. It's not funny.
Richard, here's some. Hey, Richard, since you're into taking feedback now, here's some feedback for you. You know how you appeal to the adults? By telling a good story. Try that next time.
Also, apparently Niccolo is still in prison and he's willing to talk with Dereck alone. So,
he supposedly knows something about.
Also,
the man
what
in
was
black.
that camera angle with Lucas?
Don't you see the low angle symbolizes?
Notice my fucking directing.
It symbolizes something. I don't know what, but it's something.
There's Shiroi. There's a new catchphrase. Talk to the paw, not even to the hand.
There you go, Shiroi. That's a good catchphrase for you.
I'm sure that's catchphrase been used before and something.
What soldiers? leave TMNT out of this if you don't mind, okay? Well, foot soldiers. Remember, in the I can speak for the other cartoons, but in the 80s cartoon, there's foot soldiers of TMNT.
That's still a term that can be used to describe camaraderie, though, Pedro.
Yeah.
No, it's just that that's how I got introduced to the term, so that's what I think of when I hear it. Okay, let me talk about something. This movie, while not as messy as movie 6, does suffer as well from a lack of focus as well, because we just keep jumping from scene to scene, and not much narrative momentum is actually being put forth. Not really. I mean, the only real thing that has happened so far is that there's a vandal, like Theo put it, putting Z's everywhere. Aside from that, the plot doesn't move forward a single inch.
Okay. I wouldn't say that the plot lacks focus, but I do agree that it lacks momentum, seeing as how we're 30 minutes in this movie and it really doesn't feel like we've moved forward much.
Not really, no.
When did this film come out? 2018?
2018.
Yes.
They're basically Richard is basically shitting these out on a yearly basis. Dwebs.
Also, Roger invented deodorant.
Well, I mean, there wasn't one last year.
Well, COVID, so.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, Pedro. Animated things somehow managed to escape the worst of COVID. In terms of actually being able to be made.
True.
I guess
What was that?
I guess
What the
what the fuck are you doing, Richard?
I'm getting lost in space flashbacks. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wait.
Notice my directing. My directing.
No, wait. Hold on. I'm with John Bob. Why are you having the frog drive?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, fuck. Whatever. It's just.
Okay.
I
So,
get
yeah, 2018, the same year in which Western.
Whoa!
Oh man, Nicole, what? How much time has passed for Nicole to grow this kind of a beard?
So yeah, 2018, the same year that in terms of the West, we got films such as Mary and the Witch's Flower, among other things. You know, Incredibles 2. Think what about that?
Oh,
It's better than
goody.
this.
And he went
Yeah.
crazy.
by default.
Also, Dwebs, no duh, it's better than this. That's the bare minimum.
So prison has drove him insane that he has 2 different personalities now.
Oh, Gollum. Got it.
Yeah, we even do
like-
the eye kind of thing. Oh,
Brilliant.
Well, Captain.
It's more so. Did you like my directing, Dwebs? Says Rich.
No,
Whatever.
Third Webs.
Oh.
okay.
Prison life has not been kind to this guy, I see.
Clearly.
I'm surprised Dereck is just still trying and not actually exiting the room properly.
Only lead we got.
Yeah, there you go.
Richard, I don't want a close up of
Wait,
Nicholas
what?
foot.
What hurricane?
Dereck, there was no hurricane. What are you talking about?
I wonder if it was a different version of the script and they accidentally still base it on that.
Oh, so it's kind of like how Spider-Man 2 and 3 mention the Kraven the Hunter, even though it's only on the Xbox version. Gotcha.
Wait.
The games, Jova.
The games.
Well, okay, that's something. Craven's actually in Spider-Man 3.
Well, yeah, but isn't there a point where 2 references it?
No.
If I remember correctly.
No, okay, here's the thing. He shows up as a boss in, like, the boss rounds, but he's not mentioned story-wise.
Okay.
Well...
Obviously the primary suspect seems to be Antonio because his name is Antonio Zambrano.
No.
Okay. So I should I should clarify. It's not him that's fought in the boss realm of Spider-Man 2, but, basically it's Calypso's fought, who does reference the Kraven fight. However, again, that's not story-wise. That's strictly something that, is like an extra boss fight, essentially. So,
Wait, and now halfway through the movie, we start having songs, and it's from the raging lunatic with split personality.
Also,
Brilliant.
what's with the lighting?
I don't know.
And the animation is just suddenly got extra bad.
Okay, to be fair, since he's crazy, I guess we can assume that this is going on in his mind.
But still, the movie was all being fine without a musical number for halfway through, and now we get one.
Okay. But basically, sure, this is Nico, the villain of the previous movie, who's apparently gone nuts. And the primary suspect right now is Antonio, because Antonio's last name was Zambrano. So...
However, though, that doesn't make sense, because as far as we know, Antonio died. Though, to be fair, as Niccolo did point out, Antonio survived a great deal.
And I wonder if the sequence with the box was foreshadowing, and when the reference that someone stole a pink belly from Bambi were referencing Antonio.
Although, for a film that's supposed to be a mystery, it would be a bit weird if they literally just revealed who the crook is halfway through. So I do wonder if maybe this is setting up a fake out.
Here's a problem with this musical number. They're trying to be energetic with the animation. The problem is that they don't really have the budget to pull it off.
Nope.
Morse code, of course.
I mean, Roger established that he could pull out that lantern signal.
Although this time it's done with full-on electricity.
Which he didn't invent before, so sure.
You know what? Fair enough. Continuity.
I don't know why that line was just funny.
Okay. Oh yeah, those kids are here. I kind of forgot.
Yeah, Elise and Lucas have barely done anything, to be honest.
I remember, Teo, that was the whole point. They basically swapped characters. Now Odette and Dereck are more in focus, whereas Lucas and Elise are put in the back burner.
But the problem is Odette and Dereck feel like they haven't done anything in this movie at all.
Either, yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem. I mean, Richard
at this point, it's like they just want to make a Lord Rogers movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. That brings up a good point. Lord Rogers, for all intents and purposes, is kind of the protagonist of the series at this point, clearly.
Snap.
I was about to say the same thing, but I see him more as a protagonist than anyone else.
Yeah, you didn't mention it.
Oh, wait, hold on. Odette actually is doing something, following the rats to get down to the bottom of this.
With a cat that doesn't know how to hunt memory because he's too scared. As long as you don't encourage me with a song, I'm fine.
I think you just signed your death
Yes,
warrant.
I should have seen this coming.
Sorry, you manifested this.
I guess they gave me these movies, but they share spotlight on the characters when it's time for a musical number.
So now it really is like a musical.
So, yeah.
A stage musical.
Considering our Return to Jafar and a musical number similar to this, sure, I guess I see this coming.
So there you go, Shiro. Now we have Grow a Spine Kitty musical number.
Also, about the whole spotlight on characters thing for this kind of thing, Frozen 2 did it so much better.
Not just that. Look at this. 8 lives. They literally show his 8 lives. Oh, whoa!
Seizure!
All right. I want you guys to pay attention to one specific line in the verse in the song. Listen here.
Okay.
Did you get it? Did you get that?
She said furries, right?
They said paws.
Fierce and you're furry.
Yeah, well, he is furry. He's got fur on him. Come on, mine's out of the gutters, guys.
I get that, Joe. It's just that line can be so easily taken out of context.
Like I said, mine's out of the gutters, guys. Well, okay, I'll give Odette's voice actor this. She can sing, all right.
Yeah, she can sing.
This
definitely.
might legit be the best song we have had since, well, anything from Swan Princess 3.
Also, I can tell that a lot of movement in this particular music sequence were actually kind of like mocapped in some kind of way.
Probably. And guess what, Jova? It seems like Richard realized that he did have a really good actress as Odette at this point, and that's why the third musical number, believe it or not, is going to be a callback.
Oh, neat.
Also, Jova, and it's interesting, Joe, I checked it before we started doing the movie, and she really has nothing under her belt. These are basically her major contribution to her career.
Oh, sure. Would you say this is good kitty counseling?
Yeah, I need background music now.
Get a fucking playlist when her headphones.
Okay,
Sure.
and yeah, I'll answer your question in a second. I just wanted to bring back what Jova said. It's like, yeah, this is probably the best song, but that's because the actress is carrying it.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes,
actress
she
completely
is.
carried it.
Anyway, yes, Pedro?
Would you say this is a good way of motivating a kitty? This song that we just
I mean,
saw?
singing very loudly at a cat is probably going to get them to either run away or claw your face.
So I guess in a way that is good counseling, seeing as how it'll get them angry enough to scare off the rats.
Oh my god, this movie is so boring.
Yeah, the thing about this is the thing about this movie. It removes not most, because we still have the box court shit. It removes most of the big stupid shit we saw in movies 5, 6, and to a lesser extent 7. The problem is that as a result, it becomes more tedious than frustrating.
If I may bring up the problem with this, like, okay, look, I know that we have had quite a few problems with the original trilogy, but here's the thing about the original trilogy and why it was at least delightful enough to warrant sequels here and there. The original trilogy knew what it was, a fantasy-based Wonderland adventure. Keyword being adventure. Those movies did have their fair share of action and adventure to help stuff out here. The problem with a lot of... Okay, Swan Princess 4, fine enough. Swan Princess 5, technically action, but it was incredibly lame action given that our main bad guys were literally squirrels. But here's the major problem with the movies as of 5 here. They lack a lot of the action or relatively good action that the movies before had. Like, yeah, we can talk about how stupid they are, but at the very least, do something. It's just more or less characters standing around and doing funny gags here and there. Oh, and before anyone else says that, well, that's technically what Ace Attorney is like. Yeah, Ace Attorney has a lot of stuff to mask the fact that you're technically playing a glorified lawyer simulator, which is more or less just people talking. There is a lot that goes into the animations there. Well, that goes.
It also has a story, characters.
Well, Joe, that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna have a story if you're gonna have a story without action that's mostly just character dialogue, then that dialogue better be fucking stunning, because that's the whole thing that's gonna carry your story. You know?
Oh my God! Roger's creating ghost gloves.
Like
Of
by
course,
having
that's
an
why the
object
fuck not.
touch a ghost thing, they become
Jova?
ghosts themselves.
How?
Jova, you know what, Jova? I'm gonna add to what you just said. Allow me.
How does that work?
It just does, okay?
It just arrives way too fast for the person to comprehend, and you blink and it's already gone.
It
Yeah.
just raises too many questions.
Really,
But anyway,
who gives a shit?
okay, to add on to what Jova was saying, you know what the original trilogy also was? It was a medieval fantasy fairy tale setting.
Yeah.
With magic. Just magic. No science, no futuristic stuff, no stupid pop culture references that have no place.
Who's driving a car?
John
Bob.
Bob. We already
Go on,
mentioned
Pedro.
that.
Okay.
So, as a result, at the very least, for as bad as those movies still were on their own merit, better than these, but well, yeah. At the very least, they felt like they felt like they weren't trying to pander. They didn't feel like, at least to a certain extent, and it felt like there was at the very least a commitment to the setting. Not to mention, regardless of what Theo might think of it, a true commitment to the Disney musical as a style that it was inspired by. Whereas these newer movies, like Theo said earlier, we only have our first song in the first half, which means there's a lack of commitment to the musical roots of this franchise. There's a lack of commitment to the medieval fairy tale fantasy setting, because we have all this stupid sciencey shit that doesn't belong. It's just like, these movies are these are not. I refuse to acknowledge these movies as Swan Princess movies. This is a different series at this point, as far as I'm concerned. This is not even Swan Princess anymore. It claims to be Swan Princess. Yes, it has characters from the Swan Princess, but the spirit of the Swan Princess original trilogy is completely gone by this point.
Hold on. Oh, the Z is not a Z, but an N swapped 90 degrees. Oh my God, he's...
Congratulations, Theo. You figured it out.
Or did
I cracked the code, but still, there's something. Okay, again, unfortunate implication of someone trying to plaster and signs all over the place.
You see, I wasn't even thinking about that. So,
and you know what this means, Theo?
Well,
you're the best spy. You're a better spy than any of the characters in this movie.
I mean, hooray! I suppose.
And a better detective as well. But yeah, like I was saying. See, but to add to it, combining what me and Jova, all of this were saying, yeah, I refuse to acknowledge these movies as Swan Princess movies at this point. Yes, they have characters from those movies. They have technically some similar type of setting, but the spirit of the original trilogy at this point is dead. And as a result, I refuse to acknowledge this franchise has officially become a complete different Frankenstein mess of a franchise that doesn't even know what the hell it is anymore.
I wonder if this... So does this bad guy have anything to do with the bogs?
Not... Well, we don't know yet. True.
I wonder. Because otherwise the bog stuff would be more or less pointless to this movie, other than holding Scully at the island for a few minutes to elongate the film.
And the subplot of so far of Rogers and Yami is just to get rid of this bog ghost. Okay.
Okay.
And there was much rejoicing.
That one character, the ghost goblin thingamajiggy, I don't care. Sounds like he's trying to do a Jim Cummings impression.
It's not him, I can assure you.
Yeah.
I think it's actually one of the characters that Kellen Goff voices. If you need a reference, then you probably have seen on Twitter some memes. The most recent incarnation of Freddy Fazbear.
Zorro?
Yes, sir.
Or Romeo.
Oh, now I get it.
No, that's the real. It's not even a reference, but to mention quickly. Now I understand, even less than before.
No. The unfortunate implications that you were saying, considering he's a guy dressed in black. Like, yeah.
Hey,
sorry, go on.
Hey, Joe, don't you see the Men in Black? Sony owned that as well. Could be them.
Well, we never did establish when they were first established. Well, actually, no, I think some bouts did establish when they were established.
It is interesting because, okay, I'm really tempted to say something right now, but it will make more sense if I say it in movie 9, so I'll wait for tomorrow.
Okay.
Silent laughter.
And again,
why is he dressed as Scorpion from Mortal Kombat?
That was the outfit that Antonio had in the previous movie when he sabotaged the dam. But again, it doesn't match because Nicolo is a bit bulkier than that. So unless they pull Detective Conan and say that the silhouette did not match at all what the identity of the culprit actually is. Also, this camera angle, what the fuck?
In the meantime, totally Antonio, we swear, is watching them.
Again,
there's also the fact that for the solution of a mystery, the problem with this kind of mystery is that there are no potential red herrings. For as much as it's mocked around, Scooby-Doo had the right idea to give red herrings potentially. So at the very least, there could have been a possibility of guessing this person might be that. But in here, we have almost zero suspects.
Well, it's like I said, the one red herring, well, I'm assuming it's a red herring. The one red herring they gave us was that, it's totally Antonio halfway through the movie.
And we haven't never seen Antonio in the movie.
Supposedly, Jova and Teo, Niccolo being all goofy and with the musical number and the beard is supposed to be, to distract. Maybe say, there's no way it can be him, clearly. Supposedly that's supposed to be the red herring of sorts. I don't know.
Again, I don't know. It feels like too obvious of a clue, though. Because, otherwise they wouldn't include that if they were going to intentionally waste the audience's time with that.
The problem, Joe, is that sadly that leaves us with no other solution on that. So it has to be that.
Or maybe it's somebody completely unrelated, and this is just a badly written mystery.
Oh, no, I get it. It's 2 bugs in a trench coat.
That being said, I think we're almost at the point where we're going to get, at the very least, what I consider to be the highlight of the movie. It's not, and keep in mind, what's interesting, the highlight of the movie that we're going to get in a bit is not even related to anything that's going on, but you'll see what I mean.
Yeah,
also,
I guess we're in the last third of the movie now, so climax coming soon?
Hooray.
Pretty much, yes.
Oh, and now Dereck is in trap.
Wait, what?
Oh, I guess you can just do that.
Well, if you could just do that, why didn't you... Whatever.
I don't know. They still haven't confirmed that it's Antonio, despite the fact that he literally said Antonio to his face.
So even in universe, the characters still haven't figured it out. Magnificent. Oh, man.
Oh my god, not this shit again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop. This saying ended ages ago.
It really did.
Yep, the bit is dead, Rich. Kill it.
The ghost of his alter ego. I'm not sure about this.
Okay.
Hold on.
No.
No. Jova, please, if you want, could you remind me again what did the box say in the climax of the 6th movie?
Yeah, they'll no longer praise things that are green.
Richard, Brian, how can you be both attentive to continuity and yet not attentive at the same time?
Wait, he's not green now, is he?
So the ghost material can also allow people to float as well.
Objection, guys. This plot is immaterial.
Ha.
But yeah.
How could you?
But there you go. Teo. Here you go, Teo. Richard Rich, the first ever director who is capable of being both attentive to continuity and non-attentive at the same time.
Okay, I wonder if it's a case where this bug being dead was old-fashioned, because remember the change happened with the generation that is still alive, so maybe they want to go on that technicality.
Teo does have a point that this bug has been established to have been from an older generation, and how he has been trying to get the society to follow a set of rules and regulations better, so... Yeah, I guess it's not too out of the realm of reality that this one...
However, they could have had a throwaway line, unless they did paid enough attention to it.
I have subtitles on. There was no actual throwaway line saying that.
And Jumbo died.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but looking at that water makes me feel the urge to drink some blackcurrant juice. That's what it looks like.
This entire storyline with Scully and the bog is just so pointless.
Although, here's one thing, Teo. So, your idea is that it's Nicolo, but how could it be Nicolo given now he's got these mannerisms and movements, and how would he have gotten out of the jail?
Again, it's okay. First of all, for a second, I guess that the portrait of Queen Uberta doubles as a door to a secret passage. It's way too in focus much when it comes to these shots, and it looks more 3D than actual painting.
Oh God, Odette, what's wrong with your eyes?
One fix from the previous few movies. The Swan Princess is actually the main character this time.
Oh yeah, that was the primary feedback that the previous 2 movies got, Dwebs. So yeah.
Wonder what the other feedbacks were.
Well, let's just say Dwebs.
Wait. I'm sorry. Did Odette just ask the villain from the previous movie how he could bargain if lives were at stake, considering how he was intent on ending a few lives in that past movie? Okay. To be fair, Odette wasn't really aware of much because she wasn't as involved in the venture there, so bare beans, but still, that's just silly. He's a bad guy, Odette. I don't like where this is going.
Nope, absolutely.
You know the main issues of these movies to me?
Yeah?
Boring?
All of them, quite frankly. Yes. I mean, yes, they're really, really short. They're barely feature length, even at the best of times.
Uh-huh.
But because the plots are incredibly uninteresting, even though they are short, they feel much longer.
Again, that's the two main things. The pacing and the padding. If those two are trimmed, each of these movies could easily be reduced bite-size to a 30-40 minute stops, which again works much better as a mini series of sort to have them on.
I will definitely say
again,
that. Oh.
You can tell that the idea of this length and everything is just there because of the stupid DVD sells more.
I'll definitely say that this movie feels like the most padded of the movies because the plot is glacial.
Yeah, I need you guys to answer this question. Summarize the plot.
Okay, basically someone is leaving Z's. We've looked around. We think it's Antonio. It might be Niccolo, and yeah, that's
again two. Technically speaking, two.
And look at that! The door.
Fucking called it, Jova.
Dwebs, tell what he has won.
A year's supply of more of these films.
So basically,
a year's supply of nothing.
So basically, So basically, I solved the mystery ahead of the plot in the 7th movie, and now it's Teo's turn for the 8th movie.
Sure.
Brilliant.
No, duh.
So yeah, that's all Lucas and Elise are in this movie. They're just here to be saved.
Which
The scale?
That's a downgrade from the last couple of movies.
It's Saw now. Okay.
That's a thing, Debs. This is Richard's way of implementing feedback. Let's just reduce the roles to nothing and just have Odette be the thinker.
You do not appreciate life. I want to play a game with you.
That's going backwards.
Wait, why don't both of you just jump at the same
you
time?
You don't necessarily have to implement all the feedback.
Oh.
If that's the thing about because that's the thing about feedback. Sometimes, most of the time, it's really useful, but sometimes it could just be pretty dumb feedback. There is such a thing.
Uh-oh. Someone needs to stay on the balance plate.
In order for them to get out.
Also, remember what Odette said. It has always been about you, So I guess the mysterious stranger really wants you there.
Here we go, Teo. It's time for you to pat yourself in the back.
But Pedro, this could be literally anyone else.
Wait, what?
I'm guessing he wants to get back at Dereck because Dereck was the one who fought swords with Antonio.
Okay. How many more movies are there after this? Two. I'm pretty sure this isn't the end.
With a third coming out.
Okay. Honestly speaking, if Nicola wants revenge against anyone, shouldn't it be Elise, given how Elise was the main one behind Antonio's unmasking?
But don't you see, Joe, it's that trope where in order to get revenge on
that's more like it.
Where in order to get revenge on one member of the family, they take it out on another member. To show them how it feels.
Oh, he shaved.
Oh, and he used the book as a guideline for his revenge.
Where did he get a razor from?
I guess he had his disposal.
He probably
it was a fake beard he was wearing.
He probably had the rats chew the beard off.
I love how his contraption has giant buttons. Like, not even normal buttons, like giant buttons.
How do we get out of this mess, then?
Look at those.
Giant buttons are cooler, apparently.
See, Shiro, this contraption has accessibility features.
Okay. So...
Genius.
The sewer trap was amazingly easy to defy, you idiot.
Seriously, this one is a huge step forward in comparison.
You, my dear friend, are a terrible villain.
Okay.
Aww. Pet the rat.
Here we go, too.
Yep. Oh, no!
And there you go. This is the point where you're supposed to be blown away. Be blown away, guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dereck has exercised.
They remember that. Huh?
Wait a minute.
Yay! Army rats!
Okay,
yeah,
so...
I was expecting a Black Plague reference.
Eat him, Plague Tale style, please.
So they'll either eat him or he'll die falling.
How will Dereck get out of this one?
Wait,
why was there a cut?
Please don't cut back to this.
Please don't cut back to...
Yeah, we'll have to find out later because right now...
Yeah, to answer Deji's question...
We're back we're back to Anal Attorney.
Yeah, to answer Deji's question, there are actually two plots going around technically. The main one, but then they decided to pad out by having this stupid subplot of having Scully being taken away by the bugs, which at first it's not even that bad of an idea, but again, they pad this shit so much with this court. And we have this cop ghost character, being sort of lengthless. You'd think that once it's defeated, one or two times it's fine, but no, they just keep going and going.
You really think this is comedic gold, don't you, Rich and Brian?
It's been a while since we even came back to this.
I don't even think it's for comedy's sake. It's just that they legit have this going on here and there as a plot bout.
Also,
yes.
Also, it's about your feedback argument that you were making earlier. Yeah, I can just imagine Richard Rich listening to your argument there. Oh, the nuance. What is this nuance?
Yes, nuance. It begins with the letter N, and
N for Niccolo. There you go, Dwebs. You did it.
No, that's not what I meant. What have I done? I probably cursed Swan Princess 13 at this
also,
rate.
this
wow. Okay.
Is...
So it turns out, no, Paige, this isn't for comedy. They're playing this scene dead serious.
Not just that, it feels so weird because the way the plot was going, I was actually wondering if instead, Scully would have actually asked the cop to actually help the others in his stead, now that he was technically free, and that would have been a sort of a mini redemption as well for, the bug ghost. But no, we just do this.
Okay, I will give this movie credit for one thing. It doesn't do that silly cartoon trope of having the bars be so wide apart that anyone could just slip between them and get out.
True. They improved that from movie 5.
I guess.
Sorry.
I guess give Niccolo credit. He didn't fall.
Let me address your point, Joe.
Wait. Hold on. Why did he leave Dereck alive? He literally could have had the rats either eat him or, push him down the pit.
Again, that was my theory.
No, killing you dead and there would be too easy. Let me just make this needlessly convoluted.
That was my theory earlier. Pretty much, I'm gonna make you suffer like how I suffered, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. Originally, he wanted to opt just for Dereck to fall to his death, so why now this more convoluted way of killing him when he had him?
A rat? You just know that that's gonna chew the ropes.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have hands down the best water effect.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow, this water physics actually look good.
Oh my god.
Congratulations, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's very great for an animated movie of 2008. Oh wait, you're telling me it's 2018.
Okay. To be fair, guys, I will give them their one deserved clap.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Let me address your point, Jova. Okay, so the whole box court plot is serious, not played for laughs.
No. I was talking about that one scene. Like, most of the box court stuff actually was played for... Well, okay. It's a combination of laughs, but it seems like they want to do something with the bogs lore-wise.
Sure, I guess. Okay, Jova, guess what?
What?
Since Nina Herzog is a really good singer, like she already said earlier, she carried that previous song. Richard thought this would be the perfect opportunity to appeal to our nostalgia.
Oh, we're going to have a callback to the song from the 7th movie where she's singing during the part where the sword fight was going on?
No, trust me, Jova. We're really going to get a true appeal to old Swan Princess nostalgia right here.
Swan Princess 1?
Very good. So, Nina, if you don't mind, could you please do your rendition? If when it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. Did he mention why he left the rat with Dereck? I guess to keep an eye on him?
No, he did mention something. Oh, I guess you're jealous, so said take one of my rats.
You know what's something, Jova? A few years ago, Some Call Me Johnny said that just for having that Twinkle Park remix, that one track from Sonic 4 Episode 2 is automatically the best track in the game.
Uh-huh.
This is kind of how I feel about this upcoming song.
And look at that, the rat's chewing through the ropes. You must be a
Because
wizard
they're
for
responding-
predicting that to you.
Well, to be fair, in this case, it's not of desperation, but he's responding to the command. Also, rats can swim. Why did you do that?
Maybe they decided that maybe they thought they were Eugene Acker and thought that an animal couldn't swim.
I guess this rat can't swim?
Because.
Also, how is this fitting more for a spy movie in terms of escaping a trap than the actual previous
it's
spy
like-
movies?
The plot that they had for the spy movie felt like they had to abandon it.
It's like
Also, they're actually
Sorry. It's like I said, Dej. It's like how movie 7 was more of a pirate movie than movie 6 was.
Also, they actually reincorporated the gibberish that Rogers predicted previously when he came to the blueprint.
Huh.
Oh crap! Oh crap, guys! There's not enough oxygen. How will Dereck get out of this one?
He won't. He's not coming back from this.
Oh, here we
With
go.
a song.
Definitely.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Nina Herzog's rendition of "Far Longer Than Forever."
Which song was that? I forgot.
The main theme of the first movie too.
You know, I'll give the voice actors credit. They are trying.
They
really
are
trying
trying.
with this scene.
There you go.
You know what?
Oh, it's this song. The one that was actually mocked at the beginning of movie 3.
Yep.
You
Like, the
know,
voice acting is the thing I don't hate.
honestly, in a better movie, this would actually be a very good scene. One that's a neat callback to the original, is legit serious, and one of the few times where a song actually does make sense with the dire situation. Because it's literally her trying to help her husband power through the moment here.
Basically, if you want to hear the full song, get the soundtrack.
That said, here's the
Sure.
problem. Even if we do consider this a good scene, it's a good scene in, like, an
In a
entire
vacuum.
movie of bad.
Yeah, and even then, like, I really think that they should have gone further with it. To be honest with you, they only had her sing like the first couple verses. Why not have singer at the very least up the full chorus at least? Because
Dereck
it felt
faint.
like, it felt like they restrained themselves when this shouldn't really be the time to apply restraint. Not really.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
he came back and helped.
What the hell?
I'm a ghost, Whips. That's what I do. I scare people.
Not like that, though, surely.
So, when's the part when we catch Niccolo, given how we have literally only 6 minutes left of this movie?
Oh my god, is he gonna be like one of those, Murder She Wrote episodes where we just discovered the killer and like not even 2 minutes, not an epilogue, it just cuts to the credits.
Oh dear. Okay, I'll give him credit. That was actually a scene with stakes,
Also,
but
I noticed an animation error, Joe. At the moment that the submarine was rising, Dereck looked in that shot lucid
Yeah.
and in amazement.
oops.
Oops.
Imagine a Richard
Oh,
movie with
and he
animation
just gets
error.
caught like that?
Like this.
How?
Lame.
No, seriously,
Did they,
seriously. No, seriously.
Was that a see what they called them?
Hang on, yes, Jova.
Nicola was doing so good up to this point. He was acrobatic, jumping off of roofs and everything. He commanded an army of rats. Where'd that all go? How'd he suddenly get caught? Why is he going out this easily?
You see, Jova, it's like I said near the beginning of the movie when the rats first showed up. Someone called the Pied Piper and dealt with him.
And he's put there like that?
How would they feed him?
Yeah. You will suffer the same punishment you put the main character through.
Wait a
The
minute.
rats are back
Yes,
to the least.
the rats decide to turn their
Revolt.
back on him. Yes.
The council will decide your fate.
I am the council.
So why are they deciding to turn their backs on him?
They don't respond anymore his commands. Remember, he controlled them with whistling, but he did
Well, I
showcase before, but he was mistreating them.
Ah.
Yep.
You know, he's gonna fall off that and die, probably.
So yeah, happy ending, even though it was completely
Also,
under.
Okay.
Huberta was borderline pointless in this movie.
Is it sad that I consider that an improvement
Oh.
from how she was in the last movie?
Technically, I suppose.
What's with these?
The jiggle
I don't-
physics on there, yes.
No. I meant the zoom.
Hey, Dwebs, to get back
Excuse
to that.
me?
Yes, Pedro?
Hold on.
Basically, Richard Rich, whenever he's deciding to make a sequel.
Fuck you. Thank you. You're just showing us.
What?
What happened?
Okay, so
Basically,
basically,
what happened,
sorry,
we
go
talked over
on.
it. We talked over it. Basically, turns out her book was a big hit. That's what she said. You know what this means, right? It's time for a sequel, baby.
Totally not a meta
line.
Cute.
Richard, now you're just trolling us.
Yeah.
Well, guys.
That's the thing. That's the unfortunate thing, Pedro. It's succeeding. But what were you going to say earlier?
It's two things. One, Dwebs, to get back to your feedback argument, that's the thing, Dwebs. That's the thing, Dwebs. Even when they're trying to quote unquote call back to the first movie, it feels so half-assed. Because they only had her sing. They had Nina Herzog record the entire song on the soundtrack. You can get the soundtrack. It's actually on uploaded to YouTube for everybody to watch anyway. So yes, she did record the song in its entirety, and they didn't use it. They only had her sing like the first 3 verses. There you go. There's your callback to the first movie. The first 3 verses. They didn't even commit to it. I would have been perfectly fine with her singing the entire song while Dereck is Dereck is waking up in ground. That would have been fine.
Yeah.
But no, they only have her sing you see what I mean? Richard just is so beyond the original trilogy at this point. Even when he's technically making a callback to it, he half-asses it.
Honestly, this is one of the few cases. This is one of the few cases where I'm gonna say that the lack of songs were actually something of a detriment to this movie.
But yes. What more do you want me to say at this point? My thoughts on this movie are pretty much like all the other movies. It's probably going to be the same for the next 2 after this. The only real difference this time is that the movie wasn't aggravating or just kind of dull like the previous one. This one was just really, really dull. I mean, yeah, good job. You streamlined stuff down to like only 2 plots. And you try to make things more like the earlier films. But you kind of went too far in the other direction.
But I did put Odette in the main role like you guys asked me to.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Richard, there is such a thing as being able to do that and not make the new characters you made up worthless.
Monkey's paw.
Also,
yeah, it's like those new Dejimon movies.
Also, you may have missed it in the credits, but they said that for the song sung by Niccolo, they credited it sung by David Lodge and David Lodge. Get it? Because it was a duet with David Lodge among himself.
There's nothing to this movie. It's just, that's the thing though. I don't think, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the original movie, I don't think the plot of that original movie was. There, that's it. That's it. It was nothing, and that's what this film is. It's nothing. It's just a bunch of faffing around, going back and forth between an unfunny Ace Attorney clone and something that's tried to be like the original movies but fails at it because like it doesn't do it well, but it also kind of screws the new characters over because like her adopted daughter and her new friend.
Oh snap! That actually makes me wonder, dude.
Because now they're just rescue fodder. They weren't like that in the other movies.
That reminds me. Did we ever establish anything about Scully going back to hold his promise with the
Actually, yes. The last shot one of the last shots that we have is him willing to go, but the Volkov decides to let him go, and now they're friends. And when Scully goes away, the Volk actually, does a small soliloquy as you ask, did I make proud of you, mother? I'm actually trying.
Oh, right, that scene.
Making their mother proud. I can't wait for Swan Princess 11's Psycho remake.
I can tell you something, Waves. You know how lazy things are about to get? Again, not knowing anything about movie 9 and 10. Judging from the posters, they might, because for movie 9, they recycled the same image or model that they use for both Puffin and Speedy for the poster. They just literally use the same and slapped it on.
I don't think they have to be saving money for the posters, but well, there we are. There we are at this point.
It's very lazy.
I'm beginning to wonder. Funny because that's Wonder, Sony Wonder. I'm beginning to think of how much Sony Wonder are actually run because those different divisions aren't run the same as the other. I can imagine that's the main parent company only gave Sony Wonder like I don't know $100,000 a film and just tells them to make your films based off that.
This is definitely not based.
Yeah, because the animation's gotten a bit better, as much as because me and Deji at least did legit like that water effect. Because for a film with this budget, it's not too bad, all things considered.
I'm curious, Dwibs, which would you prefer? The more safer stuff like this, or something that was stupendously bad, like, say, Swan Princess 5 or 6?
Well, that's the thing, though, Jova. They're both kind of bad in their own unique way. This because it was dull and nothing happened, and the other because it was aggravating. And those are two extremes I equally don't like as much as the other.
Although, isn't being boring kind of like considered a neutral thing? Oh, okay. Semantics. Still, though, like, well, so which flavor of Swan Princess movie do you prefer?
Well, preferably none. But
it's like asking what Taco Bell, menu do you prefer? The answer is none.
Gio, I'm not that sadistic. Jeez.
You know what? To be honest, the only way these movies will actually be somewhat fun and entertaining to me, and even only in the mocking sort of way, is if we get the Swan Princess goes to space.
You know what? It's a possibility.
Look, the Air Bud movies eventually did that.
With all the technological stuff that Rogers is making, I'm surprised they've been restrained so far to go there.
I guess a rocket ship just might be a little too out of the ordinary.
You're telling me, Pedro, that it doesn't even happen in movie 10?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I was...
Do movie 9 and 10 have anyone going into space?
No.
That's surprising. I will have to...
Don't worry, don't worry, Teo. If fucking Land Before Time can have dinosaur aliens in it, I'm pretty sure Richard will find a way to incorporate space in some kind.
Oof.
Maybe it'll be a time travel plot where Odette and company are transported to New York City, and she'll be a princess in New York City. Wait a minute.
Please, no.
It's just...
Enchanted.
What's that?
Smurf.
No, not the Smurfs.
Enchanted.
Yes, that's
that last one they came up with, Jervis. So basically, that means we can finally get that Swan Princess Norm of the North crossover that Richard probably always had in mind.
Oh God!
Yep.
They're both owned by
Sony. Is it Sony Wonder Dwibs, not Mondo TV?
Well, I mean, studios can work together, especially ones that especially ones that aren't exactly at a huge profit margin.
All right.
But to top it all off, it's a Swan Princess movie. What do you expect me to say?
Yeah. This was
amazing.
I mean, the actors were the best part about it.
Uh-huh.
They keep referencing a bunch of TV shows that children won't get and adults won't even enjoy the renditions of anyway.
Unless those adults showed their children the original movies.
The songs are not good. Like, the actors carry them. Yeah, it's not good. And I guess I'll end my thoughts by saying I'll just order a Taco Bell before tomorrow's movie.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I like Taco Bell!
Jesus Christ, Jovo! What kind of Taco Bell they serve it up in your area?
Did Taco Bell kill your dog or something?
Yeah, Jovo.
If I told you yes, would you promise not to laugh?
Again, since we don't have them in a country, Jova, but I can tell you only what I got to know, that they have very poor hygienic conditions.
I mean, that's just fast food in general.
No. Taco Bell takes it to a new level on top of having crappy food.
But,
anyway,
all right.
that's it for my final thoughts.
That's...
I didn't like it. It's kind of bad. It's pretty bad.
Well,
My God, I am so shocked that Deji doesn't like a Swan Princess movie.
well, in
Yeah,
that
I know,
case,
right? What a shocking revelation.
in that case, where do you want to put it on the scale?
I have to look at it because wow, this movie's kind of crap.
Kinda. Well, I guess.
Like I said, what was the plot? It's like a huge chunk of nothing was happening. Normally in a mystery story, there's supposed to be at least a build up and the characters are getting closer to the truth. But no, it's just Z's.
We literally only get one
Z's
fake
everywhere.
out
How
red
did that
herring.
happen? Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand what they were trying to do with this. It's also weird that the children were barely in this movie.
It really feels like, as Pedro mentioned, this was just the big reply to finally listen to fan feedback about just what was the problem with the movies up to that point.
It feels half-assed. Like
Yeah.
you can, I can just picture Richard Rich going, "Well, I guess I have to focus on these two again." Like it feels like he did this just because he had to, not because he actually wanted to. I can tell that he doesn't seem to want to do it. Again, that far longer. In fact, allow me, Dej, if you don't mind, to finish what I was saying to Jova. See, here's the thing, Jova. Okay, don't get me wrong. The original trilogy is still a trilogy of bad movies. They are, especially when that thing, like I said, if you watch that first movie in today's day and age, yeah, like me and Deji have said, when I showed them the first movie, yeah, there's a lot of problematic shit there that hasn't aged well at all. But
they're the thing is, they're classics for a reason. And you know what the idea of a classic is? Updated, refine it, make it proper. I mean, obviously don't do something like what the Maleficent movie did, which was just all kinds of wrong in trying to modernize the fairy tale, essentially. But we've already gone into enough discussion with that. It's just that, man, while this is probably the best movie in a while, it's best in the case that it just has the least amount of bad stuff. And unfortunately, it can in some ways feel less focused than the previous ones. Like, hell, I'm gonna say this, 7 felt more focused than this. Like, 7 had problems, but how do I put it like this? 7 felt like the spirit of the entire team was more into it than with this movie, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Let me put it this way. It's one of those cases, Jova, where every movie has its own unique set of problems. And that's why I still find this franchise, for as terrible as it is, somewhat fascinating. Because
it is.
It's not like... Because every movie has its own unique set of problems. There's common things, like character stupidity, plot that possibly don't make any sense, bad animation.
I guess what you mean.
But it's one of those things where... But let me just finish my argument. Yes. And Teo, if I remember correctly, you grew up with the original trilogy as well, watching with your sister, if I remember correctly?
Yeah,
right?
so.
Okay, so me and Teo, okay, and even despite the fact that Teo doesn't like songs in movies in general, I think he will at the very least have to admit that Far Longer Than Forever was, back in the original trilogy, supposed to be the leitmotif, the primary song, the let it go of the series, let's put it that way. You know, it was supposed to be the big song that, like when people think Swan Princess music, the first track that comes to mind, Far Longer Than Forever, of course.
I guess it's because we use that in the very title screen, because otherwise I would have said No Fear instead.
Wait, No Fear was a song from the second movie.
Nope. No,
No Fear is from the first. It's just that they reference it all the time in the sequels.
Right. You're right. Because remember, they make that weird chase music variant of it for the second movie, which is literally weird, just called No Fear. So I tend to associate the name of the song with that one more than the one in the first one.
But the point is, because there's the thing. Aside from the song itself, too, it's also the leitmotif of the orchestral score. So it's supposed to be the main theme. It's supposed to be the song that represents the movie. You know. Mm-hmm. So I think even you, too, will have to admit that trying to make a callback to the old time fans like us, by bringing in this song. Well, okay, not fans, sorry. As in the ones who grew up with these movies. Sorry, I misspoke.
I actually would have mentioned that in my fan thoughts, but I do have a theory, Pedro. This was intentional, so people will be forced to purchase the soundtrack.
I guess. It's just like because okay, whether despite the questionable quality of the original trilogy, me and Taylor grew up with it. So I think Taylor will at the very least agree with me that callback to the original theme song for the first movie was so half-assed. Like so half-assed. And it really, wow, you couldn't even be bothered to at the very least let me listen to Nina's rendition entirely, could you? Just like go on, Deji, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, it's fun. I ran out of words to say. The villain. I don't know. I know it's supposed to be a twist because that's the case with all these mysteries, but this feels like it came out of nowhere, and there's usually an explanation to how they were able to pull this off. This one is just no.
Don't you see he had a door, which Tio
Gotta be honest,
call.
again, that I pretty much was able to call the person in question and how they did that before. And the only thing that, again, boggles me is that in a lot of shots, Nicolo's figure, the model, doesn't match in terms of, bulkiness, the actual outfit.
It's like
that's the thing that a lot of mysteries like to do.
Again, like I mentioned, Detective Conan does that all the time, where the silhouette is this generic, slim person, and then it's revealed that it's like a granny.
And I'll admit that's like one of the few aspects of Coco I don't like, is how they obviously play around with the body types when no, that clearly did not fit. But no, I mean here it really is that. But I think a better thing to put is like, technically as a mystery, it does work. In the sense that, yes, there were clues, and yes, technically, it does make sense when you figure it all out. The problem is that, while it's technically a mystery that works, it's a lame mystery. And it's an incredibly easy one. Because, literally, the one red herring is Antonio. Pretty much the only suspect we're given halfway through the film. So, I guess maybe, as Tio mentioned, the idea to throw you off is that, maybe we're not supposed to believe it because Niccolo might be crazy and all. Well, again, though, here's the thing, though. Thinking about this with a film's mindset, though, because most people probably are going to be when thinking of a mystery, unless the director is absolutely stupid, there is no way that they'll reveal the actual truth, even if it's told by somebody who's supposedly crazy. Because more often than not, then, the twist that the crazy person was actually telling the truth is so glaringly obvious. It's basically the Cassandra truth trope, essentially, at that point. And it's so obvious. So, in that case, then, it either has to be Antonio or Niccolo. Or, they could have just done something Maverick and I guess have it be someone... But why?
Yeah, that it lacks of motivation.
Pretty much.
They could have put an excuse that we're asking and say that his last name started with a Z.
Yeah, but why would the king be doing that when, if anything, the kingdom helped him? Unless it turns out he was secretly in on the scheme and had to betray Niccolo and Antonio, but...
I get the idea, with a bit of tweaking, it could have made for a better twist.
You know what? Yeah, but honestly, I think that pretty much goes with this movie as a whole. Honestly, the ideas here aren't the worst. Building up on the bogs more? Okay, they're a part of the world, maybe we could. Seeing a particular bog who does want to redeem his species and get them to be less unruly. Okay, interesting idea. The problem, of course, though, lies in the execution. Which is, pretty bad to say the least. Anything else for your final thoughts, Tej?
Yeah. Please, guys, you really need to start trying with these movies instead of seeing them as blatant cash grabs.
At this point, Tej, it's a screaming to death ear.
Okay. I can tell you this, Tej. While the next movie is not good either, the soundtrack is pretty good.
Oh, that's
nice. Because the next movie is where the movie finally returns to the traditional musical style of the first movie, as in it doesn't just have a song in the halfway. And no, it actually has proper songs. And and it does in a way that I think Tay will appreciate, that the fact that instead of being a proper musical, okay, not a traditional music, instead of being a traditional musical, they actually justify the existence of the songs in the plot, because there's an entire festival of music. So it makes sense for the songs to be there. They're actually being performed in plot, you know.
All right.
So it has a nice soundtrack. That's I mean, it's something.
You know what? Honestly, a good soundtrack helps salvage Quest for Camelot from being completely irredeemable trash. So sure, why not?
That's the thing, Jova. Quest for Camelot has a fantastic soundtrack. While I do enjoy the soundtrack of Swan Princess 9, I wouldn't call it Quest for Camelot tier.
Someone go next.
But yeah, look, like I was mentioning with the problems of this movie before, I feel like this movie's biggest crime is padding, and the second being the lack of songs. Yes, this is the first time where lack of songs actually just feel like it's hurting the movie. What do I mean? Well, the songs actually do feel like they could be good in helping carry the plot. Because let's be honest, this film felt like it was struggling every second just to progress the plot, to the point where, yeah, maybe songs could have helped progress the plot. In fact, if anything, songs did help progress the plot more than anything. And they weren't bad. Oh, mind you, it was mainly the actors carrying the heck out of them, but carry them they did, to the point where, sure, yeah, let's get another soundtrack proper this time. That said, though, this movie is slow as molasses. It didn't feel like we were getting anywhere for the first 30 minutes of the film.
That doesn't really walk as much as it crawls. Like, seriously.
Turtle crawls. Like, Jesus. And, okay, yeah, look, there's some of the obvious things here, like modernization, weirdness, and whatnot, but then there's the second plot with the bogs here. Again, it's an interesting idea. But in the end, they don't seem to do much with it, I guess, except for the fact that now we have a good guy bog, I guess. The ghost.
Here's what happened, Jova. Here's what happened. They came up with this very simple premise. Niccolo is doing Z's, then it turns out these Z's are actually ends Niccolo. That's it. Now, how do we turn this into an hour and 20-minute movie? And that's where all the filler comes in, basically.
And, oh god, is there a lot of filler. Again, the stuff with the bogs could have been an interesting idea, but they flubbed it. The biggest thing to note is the People's Court parody, which is not really that entertaining, to say the least. Aside from that, though, again, yes, we have a bog who goes through redemption and I guess is a good guy. And yes, there's that one good scene with Dereck in the sub. That's one good scene. I can't really recall any other good scenes. Well, okay. To be fair, I guess to also speak somewhat positively, Niccolo actually was going to interesting stakes to be the bad guy. Okay, yeah, the sewer trap was stupid. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But give him credit, he did try and go for straightforward murder with the chandelier, and he was literally only stopped because Scully showed up. And then that trap that he had for Dereck and company, which would have, forced someone to potentially fall to their deaths, was a pretty intricate and deadly one. And he literally had Dereck on the ropes, no pun intended, at the edge of that cliff with an army of rats that could have eaten him or pushed him off. So why did he suddenly want to go for the Bond-esque villain way of tying Dereck up and letting him sink in a sub, clear in view where people can go to see him and save him? I mean, yeah, I guess his mentality was the idea that, they wouldn't be able to do anything. But given the fact that these are the people who defeated you last movie because you underestimated them, maybe you wouldn't want to leave anything to chance, especially seeing as how he originally was perfectly fine with letting Dereck fall to his death. So, why'd he suddenly change his mind to you?
I don't know. And the worst thing about it is that the heroes do not even properly capture him. He just tries to run away and gets captured by the Roman guards.
And how?
Lame.
And how? Like the last we saw, he was hightailing it away. How did he suddenly get caught and cornered? Was he watching from behind a corner the entire time and then, when he figured his plan was foiled, then he gets caught? Like,
Jova, it looks like this movie frustrated you more than 5, 6, or 7.
How do I put it? Like, you know what? Honestly, I'm not too surprised, because I'd say this. The closer a bad movie is to getting good, the more you can just see the wasted potential and just really question why they did this blatantly stupid thing that ruined the endeavor. Whereas, the more bad a movie is, the more it's like, you know what? Maybe this movie was pretty much damned from the get-go, essentially. So, I guess this does frustrate me, but it's especially with Niccolo. Like, he was shaping up to be a surprisingly very dangerous and credible threat, and then he just loses thanks to 1, Bond villain stupidity, and then 2, I don't even know what. Like, seriously, he's suddenly just surrounded. And there. When we didn't even see him the entire time. What did a scene literally get chopped out of the cutting for? Because I can tell you, there was so much wasted time with those bogs that we could have spent, at least establishing what was going on with Niccolo. Like, let me put it like this. Don't make your villain this incredibly big threat only to have him be so easily taken out unless it's meant strictly for comedy. And hell, even if it is meant for comedy, chances are it still is going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, and that's the thing. This was a guy who was an aspect from the past movie, so why did Rich do this anyway? But yeah, needless to say, this movie isn't really good. It's a painfully easy mystery. So you're pretty much spending most of the movie being way ahead of the characters, and when they finally do get caught up, it's resolved in one of the most stupid ways possible. Again, save for the one scene. Alright then, that's it for my final thoughts. This movie is the most frustrating, but it's technically the most good one since Swan Princess 4.
Okay, Theo.
Alright, as for me, the main problem with this movie, three problems actually, can be summed up in 2 things, like I mentioned: the pacing and the padding.
Wait, aren't those 2 kind of,
Well, not really, because the pacing is how the story actually progresses. The actual how many scenes there are. The padding is, if the scenes do have a purpose or are they stretched or not. The story basically has 2 main plots, technically. Well, 1 main plot and 1 medium small plot that is attached to it. The problem is that this latter one is more like a tumor more than anything, because it basically interrupts the story multiple times, and honestly, it causes problems for it.
Honestly, the bog plot just seemed like an excuse that now we have a good guy bog, essentially. I mean, again, interesting idea, but it feels like at the most it was a means to an end to get us.
I do believe it as a
character on our
I
side.
do believe it as a place. But it should have been extremely trimmed off. Like, remove the whole kangaroo court bit, and when it's resolved towards that beginning, maybe have that moment where, Scully talks with him and asks him for a favor like that, have that be the end of it. Because otherwise, the movie spends a lot of times on this thing to prevent Scully from actually helping to capture, the perpetrator, and it's more used as an excuse to have Rogers, Lucas, and Elise to do something, because otherwise Elise and Lucas don't do really much in this story. And Rogers himself, that's why the whole ghost hand kind of thing comes from. It's just the means to actually capture the bog ghost more than anything. So yeah, it could have been easily trimmed like that. Number 9, surprisingly enough, does a bit more than previous one. Yeah, in general, I'm surprised that this is actually more of a direct sequel to the previous movie than anything. Still with the Kingdom Borromeo and with the aftermath of it. But that's where the other problem comes in. Because of the fact that we spend so much time on that pointless kind of like B plot, more like invade the race or anything. The actual mystery has no real chance to give thought to the viewer because you don't really have that many suspects to begin with. So of course, when it's time to actually, sum things up, of course you're gonna have to basically pinpoint to the most obvious choice that is possible. And to me, the key moment was exactly when Dereck mentioned the key. Remember the fact the key is in the name. And remind you, at that moment, he had not figured out yet about the fact that he was instead Niccolo instead of Antonio. But that's when it clicked into me. But I did consider that no, it was a bit too obvious. But again, the movie did not present any other suspects. They could have fit at best maybe the king. But not really, though.
I'm actually curious, Gio. I know it's sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment, but would you have found it interesting if the story just went YOLO and decided to make it just someone completely out of the blue and actually did retroactively show clues that did lead it to that person even though it really doesn't make sense or whatnot? Or would you rather it went the way it did with it being kind of painfully obvious, but technically a mystery that works? Ugh.
I mean, I just said, basically the idea of a good mystery story is to present different possibilities and then focusing on one, and a good mystery story tends to have clues scattered within that when the time comes, the viewer or the reader, in case it's a book, goes, oh, so that's how things connected. The problem with a lot of bad mystery stories, particularly a lot of Murder, She Wrote episodes, is because they withhold deliberately informations from the viewer, or they make painfully obvious on who the culprit may be. So when it's time to reveal, just like in this case, you're like, hooray, couldn't see that coming. Doesn't help that because of the poor animation, I was even able to call the fact that Niccolo actually had a secret passage. That's a shame. But let's get to the more technical stuff. The animation is a bit better, yet again, small progress, but there's that. The music is all over the place. The musical scores tends to be a bit better, but they're paced poorly. Again, they don't really have one at the beginning. They start at the halfway point with number 9's motivation. Well, no, first of all, there's the double personality song for Niccolo, or then there's the motivational song for number 9, and then there's the date small reprise of one of the main songs from the first movie. And even then it doesn't last long, and I'm guessing it's really because they just wanted to bait you into forcing you to purchase the soundtrack or go listen to it. But that's just a guess. The voice acting continues to be fine. The new voice actress for that does the job. Again,
not just that, Teo. She, even though these lyrics are terrible,
she can sing. Yes,
she fucking tries her fucking hardest to sell these songs to you.
As I mentioned for the fourth movie back in that Christmas, if you haven't, in general for the audience, go and listen to the podcasts of Critical Role. You will know that Laura Bailey is not made for singing, but she can improvise sometimes.
No, Laura's an actress, definitely not a singer, though.
But it's fine that Odette and Dereck are back for the main role, quote unquote. But you can tell that because of how the plot is constructed, that the performance that I mentioned about pacing and padding, they don't have much time to breathe, and also this makes Lucas and Elise also not breathe as much as they could. Again, it's a constraint on both sides that doesn't make the product gel well. So again, in a lot of cases, this is a better product than the previous movies, in general. But on the other, I kind of prefer movie 7 over this in some kind of way.
I absolutely get it, honestly, because
it's tough because movie 7 still had those big problems that we did mention, you know. And technically speaking, this is a better made movie, you know, better constructed, better idealized. But its problems, you know, don't make it as, you know, interesting to watch. Because I guess one problem with this movie series is that, I guess at least for this movie, I don't know how movie 9 and 10 will be. When it's not batshit insane or bad, it can be just boring to watch. And because of the padding problem, you know, we get all these like dead moments of it just serves nothing. And it's not like it's trying to reach that much of a, you know, of a running time, because it doesn't need to be theatrical. It's just direct to DVD. So even if it was just an hour and 10 minutes instead of an hour and 18, it would have been fine. But no, I guess. And which, again, I need to reiterate, you know, this could have easily be just a mini-series. Trim all these fat down, decompose them in, like, say, 2-parters or 3-parters of 20, 30 minutes each, you know, and put them in a mini-series format. You know, if these movies need to continue like this, I would rather much prefer that they do this approach and put them on, say, Netflix, for example, because, you know, again, compared to Spirited Free, with this approach, I will watch probably more gladly this, because, as I mentioned, for all the problems that they have, and as Pedro mentioned at some point about not keeping up the spirit that the previous trilogy had, compared to Spirited Free, this is actually at least keeping up much more, you know, continuity elements and story elements, instead of pretending everything is reset after each movie. So at the very least, it seems that Richard and Brian have some idea on what to do, but I wonder how much of their brain just farts to create this problem, and how much is potentially also Sony breathing over their necks to not, you know, exaggerate too much with what they do, and instead keeping things very mediocre to keep the audience that they gain with these DVDs, you know, in check. I don't know, and quite frankly, I'm not sure we will ever know. But at the end of the day, it's just a mess still, but for different reasons than movie 7. And I'm kind of more inclined to prefer movie 7, as much as this doesn't have also the stereotypical Italian accent, and thankfully the whole villainy associated with foreigner kingdom is kind of toned down, because Nicolo is still, you know, just one element here, and he has just the henchman of, you know, the rats. You know, it's still just a one kind of thing, but again, for all intents and purposes, I kind of prefer movie 7 over this.
I totally get it. Movie 7 probably had a better semblance of a mystery, you know, before they obviously revealed that Antonio's behind it, because even before they revealed that Antonio was behind it, we already had more potential suspects than this movie ever presented. And this is the movie that's supposed to be the mystery.
You asked, Pedro?
What about movie 6, too? Do you also prefer this over movies? Prefer movie 6 over this one?
No. This is technically better than movie 6 in that regard. Mostly just because it's better constructed, and while the padding is a bit more emphasized than in movie 6, the trial, you know, TV show parody, it's not as grating as the cooking one. Yeah. Sure, the only thing that I like better in movie 6 is Luca's backstory and presence, but that's literally it, you know. So yeah, again, I'm really not sure what to think. So far, I guess, out of these new movie series past original trilogy, I'm still technically preferring 7, with this, I guess, coming to a close. But it's mostly just a matter of pick your poison at this point.
Keep in mind, guys, this is probably the movie where each of our final thoughts have been the longest for this entire series.
I would also say this before, just about a final thing to conclude, one thing that I wanted to mention in the movie, but I don't think I had, you know, the time frame to do it. I would also mention one thing of the perilous situation that Dereck has to go through in here, the Bond villain kind of plan. While it is tense, I would have to agree, I don't think it's doing the job that it's supposed to do, because one thing that I mentioned, I think I did mention when we started the movie before I had to do a recap, is that the most effective scene to me in the OG trilogy was the scene in movie 2 where Dereck is chasing the huntsman, but he ends up almost drowning in quicksand, and you get these very Don Bluth-esque moments where you have the tension, you genuinely don't know if Dereck is gonna make it or not. They kind of wanted to try to capture that with this, but it didn't really felt as much the same, even if it had the cool payoff of the bug goes to redemption, whatever you want to call it. But alas. Anyway, that's it for me.
Okay, as for me, okay. See, here's the thing. Allow me to bring up a comparison. The 2011 Muppets movie by Jason Segel. Okay, see, I love that movie, and you know what that movie does? It brings back Rainbow Connection. If you don't know what Rainbow Connection is, it's the original theme song of the first ever Muppet movie from the 70s. You know, and okay, question, Dej, have you seen that movie? Has everybody here seen that movie?
Don't think so.
The one with Jason Segel in it.
Oh, you did show it to me, Pedro.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? Did you see that one?
Which movie?
The Muppet movie that has Jason Segel in it. You know, Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother.
Like the one in 2009?
2011, but yeah.
Oh, 2011, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one.
With Jason Segel and Amy Adams in it.
Yes.
Basically. Okay, so basically, remember that scene where of course what could be the final performance of the Muppets, because if they don't get the money, their careers are over, and their final performance is not just Miss Piggy and Kermit, but all the Muppets joining hands in an incredibly heartwarming moment where they sing Rainbow Connection together, and it's such a wonderful, heartwarming love letter to fans who have been there since the beginning. They potentially, this movie could have had this be its equivalent, you know, like, but no, no, fuck that noise. Like, let's just have her sing the first 3 verses, and that works. Like, it's just so, like it's such. You were talking about missed opportunities, Joe, but there's one. So yeah. Anyway, the movie itself, it's frustrating because, yes, technically it's still better than 6 and 7, possibly.
But it's arguably also really stupid in how it blatantly avoids ways of, you know, just being a legit good movie.
Yeah, it's technically a better movie, if any, but it definitely still has so many frustrating aspects that really make it a frustrating experience to watch.
Like, how do you describe a movie that is technically better, but still somehow feels worse than what's supposedly the worst movie, or, you know, worst product?
Well, I brought this up when we went through the Cars trilogy. Cars 2 is technically a worse made movie than 3, but 3 irritates me a lot more because of what it stands for.
True, yeah.
You know?
I think that's what I mentioned too. Yeah, good point. I'm just wondering what to call that kind of thing term-wise, but what else?
I don't think there is one. But okay. Yeah, the plot is the mystery is overly simplistic, as demonstrated by the fact that Theo just casually guessed it right, like without even trying, you know. So, like, I guess they were trying to make the mystery easy so that the little kids could maybe try to figure it out on their own. But I don't know. It's just
it didn't work.
The plot is still has plenty of nonsensical aspects. Like Dweb said, they treat Elise and Lucas as just rescue fodder, which, yeah, I understand that the previous 2 movies got kind of backlash, but this is not the other way to, this is not the way to do it. You don't have to go to this extreme. But whatever, it's literally the kill the, what was that trope? The kill the scrappy character or something.
Take that scrappy.
Yeah, take that scrappy. They literally pulled a take that scrappy thing with Elise and Lucas in this one. So yeah. Also, That being said, I do, like Shirei said, the best thing about this movie is the voice acting, because the voice actors are trying their fucking. And I had to really give a commend to Nina Herzog for doing a really great job, both speaking and singing. By again, that middle song with the furry thing wasn't good, but damn, Nina tried her fucking hardest to sell that song.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to her. And yes, and I do recommend people to, at the very least, if you have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to spare, listen to Nina, and especially if you're like me and Theo and you grew up with the original film, it is at the very least nice to at the very least give Nina's full rendition of Far Longer Than Forever a listen, because it is a really good rendition.
Link in the description.
Exactly. So yeah, I do recommend checking that out. Aside from that, yeah, there's not that much positive for me to speak, because the animation is better than the previous movies, but it's still not particularly great. And again, I am just so done. What was annoying in movie 4, what was kind of questionable in movie 4 and kind of annoying by the time we got to movie 6 is starting to genuinely get on my nerves. I absolutely cannot stand this stupid Da Vinci thing they've got going with Rogers. First off, like I said before, I like Rogers just the way he was in the first 2 movies. Why did you bother reinventing him into a completely different character? Second, I'm sorry, regardless of explanation, I just don't think this kind of technology belongs in this one person. It just doesn't. Imagine if whatever reason, okay, imagine if when Disney eventually does a live-action remake of Snow White, suddenly there's the Queen's plan is to use a time machine to stop Snow White from being born or something. It's just
Pedro, I have a better comparison. Neverending Story 3.
Well, there you go. We can use that.
Oh, yeah, definitely agreed on that.
It's like I just don't like. And now we have fucking ghost-like gloves or whatever the hell those things were, and it's just like this just gets more. This technology just gets more and more ridiculous with each passing movie, and it's getting. And I'm genuinely starting to get annoyed. Because why is this shit in my Swan Princess movie? It makes no sense. This would never happen in the original trilogy, never. Because back then, this franchise, for as bad as it was, at the very least has some semblance of identity. Because this isn't even
the closest was Roger repurposing the orchestra as target practice during the first movie, but that wasn't really inventing something new.
It shows a lack of commitment to this franchise's roots. Richard at this point clearly doesn't give a crap. He's just gonna do whatever the fuck he feels like. Fuck continuity, fuck style, fuck the identity and the roots of the series. Let's just do whatever. That's clearly he doesn't care. He has stopped caring and he doesn't give a shit. Okay. And I would like to also straighten this up. Okay, I'm okay to correct what I said earlier. Okay, no. Okay. Yeah, fans is too, like Deji was pointing out, was too strong a word. It's more so that me and Theo grew up with this. So by the fact that we grew up with this, there's at the very least some kind of an attachment, even if it's something minor. You know, because when you grow up with something, of course, there's always going to be some level of attachment there. Even if you know it's bad, I know it's bad, but at the same time, I do have a lot of nostalgic memories of it. So there is that. At the very least, so if the movie's going to appeal to my nostalgia for the original trilogy, then at the very least have the decency of doing it right. Again, like Muppets 2011 was basically the big demonstration of how you can do that masterfully. Thank you, Jason, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, I meant Jason Segel, but
seen this coming.
These movies aren't Swan Princess movies, and I refuse to acknowledge. You know what? I will say this: for as terrible as it was, Swan Princess 5, at the very least, was a Swan Princess movie. You know why? Because it still dealt with magic, specifically the forbidden arts. You know, the big, dark, magical MacGuffin that's been around since the first movie. So at the very least, for as terrible as it was, and it was, trust me, that movie was terrible. But at the very least, it felt like a Swan Princess movie. Every movie past that one, these movies don't even feel like Swan Princess movies at all. It did not. It's like with Matrix Resurrections. It's a sequel that doesn't even feel like it belongs. It does not. The spirit of the original. Yes, the characters are still here. Technically, we even had that callback with the Following and Forever. But the spirit of the original trilogy is dead. When the Forbidden Arts was destroyed, so went the spirit of this series with it. Because at this point, this franchise is just a zombified shell of its former self. That's all it is. This thing should die, but for whatever reason, Dr. Richard and Brian Igor keep reviving it, and with every revival, it becomes a more ugly abomination that shouldn't exist.
Wow, you sound like you may have been okay. To quote what you said to me, you sound like you definitely took this movie the hardest of the bunch, honestly.
It's because it's that, I guess it's just that Far Longer Than Forever half-ass thing that really got to me, because what the hell, like that, you did, like that took me off, because come on, really? You can't even be bothered to give me that.
Again, I'm over speculating that it might have been potentially just a mandate for the sake of having people purchase the whole soundtrack.
Most likely. That being said, I do. You can go on YouTube. It's been uploaded officially, so you can just hear it. It is a good listen. You know, I don't know if I'll put it as good as the original version by Miss Liz Calloway, but it's definitely a good rendition on its own, and Nina can definitely carry a tune. So yeah, there's that, and that's it for me. Okay.
All right, that brings this commentary to a close, lengthy as it was.
So, what awaits us next time?
Swan Princess 9. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're at movie 9 now. Kingdom of Music.
Okay.
See you then for that.
See ya.